What's going on, people? Asbestos Festus here. Today we're going to be test driving a vehicle in Grand Theft Auto Online on the test track that I made called the Diamond Circuit. As you all know, it's right in front of the Diamond Casino, hence the name. It's also got strong, long pieces of track, short pieces of track, and even a maneuverability section to basically simulate every single possible driving condition you're going to experience with the vehicle. As always, low times are good, high times are bad. Best times are good, low best times are even better, and everything is subjective. So at the end of the video, as always, I'll give my final thoughts on the vehicle and tell you if it's worth your money or not. Without further ado, let's begin. From personal experiences with racing with the Tezzeract, I'm going to have a little bit of a biased opinion on it, but I'm not going to really gauge it upon my personal, well, I am kind of going to gauge the scores upon my actual dealings with the Tezzeract. I am going to really score it, though, amongst how it performed on my test obstacle track, whatever you want to call it, my test track. And I am going to score it fairly harshly here, in my opinion. It's got this thing where it wants to, like, it goes from like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds, and then from 0 to 100 it takes like 5 seconds to get to it. It's because if it hits like 60 mile an hour or something like that, it wants to, like, it just doubles acceleration. It's like going from like ree, and then it goes from like ree like that. That's literally what it feels like when you're driving it. So I'm going to really get kind of scored a little bit harshly here. Top speed, the Pariah is the fastest car, so I'm comparing to that as far as stat-wise, and I'm going to include time to reach top speed. The Tezzeract hits top speed fairly quickly, at least that's what I feel like. The only thing that really bounces it down is whenever you hit bumps, it slows down a little bit, and on a perfectly straight track, it is the top in its class, but upon racing and whatnot, that drops its score down to an 8 out of 10. As far as acceleration goes, this is my subjective speed up on how fast you can get around people. This is comparing it to the Coil Cyclone, which is the fastest accelerating car in the game. You can get around people very, very quickly in that vehicle. As far as on straightaways and whatnot, you're going to just completely pass it. I'm going to rate the Tezzeract at an 8 out of 10. Braking, this is the distance, how many pumps. Again, I'm comparing it to the Hot Knife and motorcycles. Hot Knife being the worst, motorcycles being the best. It does have pretty decent braking. You can really slam on the brakes and then get it to stop fairly quickly. Even if you pump it, you're still going to slow down very significantly. I am going to rate the braking an 8 out of 10. Traction, which is what I gauge wheel spin on recovery and how squirrely it gets when you exit a turn. The traction is not the best. It wants to spin out after you get around a corner, exiting the little obstacle course I have on the bridge, and then going into the corner, hitting that dip. It really wants to spin out. So if you had no spoiler on it, you were more than likely going to spin out fairly easily. So that drops its traction down to a 7 out of 10. Handling, which is the steering and subjective stability, the acceleration, kind of what I'll call the afterburners. That's going to drop its handling down significantly because it is very uncontrollable. You don't know when it's going to hit. You have to pretty much know this car inside and out to really perfectly gauge when it's going to hit that speed up. So as far as that, and it's turning when you're at high speeds, it doesn't really want to turn. It kind of wants to spin out, so that's why the traction is also down to a 7. But it also drags the handling down significantly as well. So the handling is a 6 out of 10 for a total score of 37 out of 50 possible points. So I am judging that fairly harshly. And as far as it going up to the Pariah, I think the Pariah was a 38. I don't know. Let me look here. It was either a 37 or a 38 what I rated it, so they pretty much rate the same thing. That was the piece of paper I had crumpled up. So I will put some other notes and the scores in the description below. And remember to comment, rate, subscribe. I'll catch you all later. Peace. Oh yeah, and by the way, I'm not going to rate the new car. The new car is a piece of shit. So that's just to say the least. The new Volvo will come out. It's garbage. So later.